lot or much. So this is the formally starting of the meeting. I would formally invite the president of this meeting, Mr. Lokesh, who's been engineer by profession and is working with Wells Fargo currently. And I remember last time he wanted to pursue for MS, and he is currently looking for that opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. I formally open meeting number 347 of Bangalore CA Toastmasters. Coming together is beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Good afternoon, good evening, my fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Good evening. Our word of the day is synergy, which is nothing but coming together and to do a particular action. Theme of the day: alone we can do little, together we can achieve more, even if it is impossible. Saying that, I have a small quote or a small saying dated long back. Kids believe in Santas, but adults, we believe in stories. To fortify the theme of the day, I would utter to you or narrate a story around this theme of the day. All of you here, have you heard of Noah the Ark? Noah's Ark? Yeah, there was a small incident which happened in that. Few days passed in, the great floods happened. Few days, people, animals were all stuck inside. Restlessness grew. To avoid this restlessness, they started playing games to amuse themselves. Few days went on. The games turned rowdy and mischievous. In one of such incident, the woodpecker drilled a hole at the bottom of the ark, due to which water started gushing in. Due to the force or the pressure of water, the hole enlarged. Animals tried their might, filling up the hole individually. In one such scenario, the beaver built a dam around that hole so that the water does not increase, but the force of water was such it broke the dam instantly. This went on. Competitiveness grew among animals. Animals wanted to prove themselves that because of them the boat survived or the ark survived, our animals survived. This did not happen. Everyone lost hope. All of a sudden, bees came in. Bees came in and told them when they were at work, each individual of the bee would give 100% or maximum to the complete task which they are allocated to, which in turn will give a greater contribution, which is nothing but a beehive and honey. Hearing that, animals started working together. Elephants used their trunk to take out water and throw it out of the ark. Fast animals started to collect things to fill up the hole. Birds who can fly caught on to the parts of the boat or the ark, fluttered their wings ferociously to lift the boat up a little. And animals or birds who could actually build nests were in the duty of filling up the hole with all the collective items which fast animals would give them. This went on for some time. The collection of water in the ark reduced a bit, but the constant influx of water didn't stop there. It was nearing its disaster time. At that point of time, a small fish swims inside the ark. These animals ask the fish for help. So the fish gets the whale for help. Kind-heartedly, the whale on its back lifted the whole ark up, giving the animals time to fill in the hole and fortify the arc again so that it's livable and habitable, saying that individual contribution is necessary, but working as a team is a dynamite. If you have one log of wood, light it up, it will give you fire, warmth in this cold weather condition to yourself. If you have multiple logs of wood, that will give warmth to each and every person in the room today here. Saying that, I would hand it over to the TMOD, Ranjit sir.
Fellow Toastmasters and the dear guests. Toastmasters is a club, as the word says. Toastmaster, a person who has mastered in toasting. A person who can toast, a person who can master, a person who has mastered how to be in the limelight, a person who has mastered to gain the attention and to seek, without seeking the attention, he gains the attention. Without gaining the attention, he can't be in the limelight. That's where the Toastmasters is a platform with a person contributing every part. That's where the synergy is, and that's how we create the synergy of Toastmasters. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, today we have the first speaker, and today we have one speaker, and before that, let me ask to introduce the guests. Can you introduce yourself and let us know, like, how do you get to know about the Toastmasters and what drive you here?
Hi everyone, my name is Monica. So I have done the Toastmasters classes. You want me to come here? Or?
Yeah, anything is fine.
Okay. So I have done the speechcast session in my office. There was a whole Toastmaster club which came to our office, and we had a month session, which inspired me to join here. But for some reason, it didn't happen for so long. So I just thought, let me just start it today. So I just came here.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So, can you introduce yourself? Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. So, with this, let me, for the benefit of the guests, let me introduce how the Toastmasters work. It's a 3-layer sandwich. One is a prepared speech, and the next is the table topic, and the third will be the evaluation. So, with the first layer of it be the evaluation, the last sip of the last bite of our sandwich. Let me call this to be the best part of Toastmasters. Without this evaluation, we can't gain anything, we can't grow ourselves. So to give the bird's eye view, let me call upon the general evaluator, P.R. Shetty sir.
Thank you, Ranjit. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Today I am the general evaluator. Being a general evaluator, I will be evaluating the session from beginning to the end. To assist me in my role, I have got timer, Mr. Naveen. May I request Mr. Naveen to explain his role?
Yeah, as a timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches and table topics and speech evaluation. Whenever speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, I will turn on the green light. When he reaches midpoint, I will turn on the yellow light. And when he reaches the end, I will turn on the red light. The speaker will have 30 seconds buffer to complete his speech. And for table topics, I will be raising the green flag within a minute, and within a yellow flag within 1.5 minutes, and red within 2 minutes.
Sure. What is the rule is, if a speaker exceeds his time limit by 30 seconds, suppose the time is 7 minutes, if he exceeds 7.5 minutes, or if he doesn't speak the minimum, that is 4.5 minutes, you should straight away disqualify. In other words, that speaker, if he is doing the project, he should repeat.
Sure.
And he will not be allowed for voting as best speaker.
Sure.
These are the two rules. Same thing applies even for the table topic. Unless the speaker specifically takes permission for extension of time, which has to be given by Vice President and Vice President Education and President, subject to the availability of the time, then only you can extend with the consent of.
Sure. Good.
Then as Vipul as listener, Great role, people.
As a listener, it is my responsibility to listen closely to everything said during the meeting, with particular attention to the prepared speeches and table topic speeches. Throughout the meeting, I will make notes and create questions of the audience in order to test our listening skills. At the end of the meeting, I will ask for answers to these questions to see how closely everyone listened. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Vipul. Further withdraw. Mr. Grammarian and our counter, Mr. Lokesh.
My duty as an R counter is to listen for R's and O's and other filler words, such as you know well. I also will be listening for extremely long pauses and connective words, such as and so. I will count the number of speaking errors for each participant as detected throughout the meeting and give the report to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Lokesh. Let us give a round of applause. Over to Ranjit.
As I said, evaluation is so important, but taking the first step to give the speech is equally important. And here we have a speaker who is going to introduce himself, is going to break the ice today. And let me welcome Rajshekhar. He's a tech guy who has always been very passionate about public speaking skills, and here is going to execute his public speaking skills.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ranjit. Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Friends and guests. Today I'm going to talk about a boy from a remote village. What's his journey in terms of, it's not a one-time journey coming into the metropolitan city, and how he's grown in his career and his overall life. It's not about none other than anybody else. It's my journey. So, I think, as you know, many of you, right? So, and our life starts with our parents. So even my life started with my parents. So because of whatever their love and affectionate, right? So with adorable life of my living class, my parents. I was born in the year 1984, July 11th, and being the first kid, I was having much affection and love and everything from my parents, and I started being the the most lovable kid even in my family. After a couple of years, I was able to recognize the words and things, and I was able to speak a little bit. And all of a sudden, I could see one more member joining in my family. That's my brother. So life was going very well, and I was able to grow good. But that's where I wanted to introduce about my life and how I nurtured myself as a Rajshekhar. So I joined the school in my village, the government school. I think you all know that how the government school functions, right? So where it's all a rule book. The playing is given more importance than education. So even being a sincere student, I followed the exact steps of my school, and even I followed the same thing, and I was even topper in my sports. I didn't even realize that there is something called education. I have to be even top there. So yeah, days were passing, and moreover, till my 15 years of my life, it was within the 3-kilometer radius of my home and my school. At the same token, even I had my own share of fun and joy with my friends within the village. But till that point in time, life was very good, and I didn't even know what was supposed to happen in my life, what was good, what was bad. I didn't even realize all those things. And all of a sudden, my parents had a synergy, and even they thought, it's fine, okay, let me look at my child as an engineer. Because if you look at from a village, it's very rare, right, to see certain people who have grown to their best in their careers, and especially the engineer at that point in time, maybe I would say 20 or 30, 35 years back, was a big thing. So even they thought, okay, let's see my kid as an engineer. And I realized that at that point in time, I was not having the enough attributes in me to become an engineer. There were a lot of problems in terms of the way I grew up, and the school where I studied, and the environment where I was. So I decided to step out of my comfort zone and my ecosystem, and then I joined a tier 3 city where I had to choose for the MSET examination to step into the corporate, to step into the engineering world. So I studied very hard, and that's where I understood about what is education means. So there was too much of competitiveness, as you know, like especially when you're from Andhra, there is too many of people who will compete for MCET examination. Even I did that, and I was able to get a very good rank. With that, I was able to secure a good seat in one of the prestigious university in Andhra Pradesh. And I joined as an electrical guy, and I studied 4 years. That was the time where, as you all know, the engineering is the time when you will know more things about yourself, okay, your friends, and you will mature as a man, right? So you know a lot of things, and same thing happened to me. So then I completed my BTech, and yes, definitely my parents' dream was fulfilled. But something back of my mind was happening. Okay, is this what exactly I wanted to do? Is there anything which I wanted to do in my own passion, from my own thing, right? That's where I decided to do masters. So I again wrote a GATE examination, and I got a very good rank, and I joined University Vishweshwara College of Engineering in Bangalore for my MTech. I joined here. That was the enlightenment period for me. I didn't even realize that, okay, what was going on in my mind. I studied. I didn't even realize that speaking very good English is important in your life. If you don't communicate effectively, you're not going to succeed in your life. So I was able to speak to my friends. Most of them were basically from Karnataka, being in Bangalore. I started talking to them, and I realized that, okay, I was speaking to them in an alien's language. So then I felt, okay, it's fine. So then I started, understanding about English, and I grown. With that, I was able to got, a good job in the corporate world, and I joined in Honeywell in the year 2007 as an intern, and I completed, now 10 years. And in between 2012, I got married, and now I have 2 beautiful angels. So life is moving on, and it's very good now. So if I go back and reflect myself, I never imagined a guy from village and his journey to the metropolitan city, so beautiful. And I'm very blessed to have this life, and I'm looking forward to have much more good things to happen in my life. So with that said, I wanted to be an effective speaker, and I joined Toastmasters. And thank you very much for all listening.
Thank you, Rajeshekar. It was indeed, you gave a brief description about what you are. How did you, being topper in only sports, and it's a unique combination that a person who can top can also top in studies. It's very unique situation in a person which we can hardly find. Like every person may be very good at sports, but he may not be good at English, education. But he may be good at education, but not at sports. But you have the unique combination of being good at both, and that has brought you to Goldman Sachs now here, and that's indeed a great. And congratulations for congratulations for your CC1. And now we have second speaker, who is a chartered accountant by profession, who has been here and mentoring many people. And the moment he comes, he takes the stage. The way he dominates will all prove us that he is a seasoned Toastmaster. So let me call upon seasoned Toastmaster, Rajkumar.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Yes. When I came out of CA after completing, the first challenge I was facing was my communication. Studied in a Kannada medium, and picking up the language was very difficult. Believe me, I have not attended a single interview just because of the fear. CA, not clearing interview was a shame. Just to avoid that shame, I chose the easiest path, that was practice. Where I was very comfortable, and my friend joined me. So life went on in the practice. I was not aiming for very big because of, again, the challenges I had to face outside. One day, one of my friends told me, how are you finding the clients? And he said, one of my clients, my friends are introducing me to the client. But are you satisfied? Are you happy? Certainly, few clients, lot of free time. Then one of my friends introduced me to a networking group. It was called a Business Network International Group. It's called BNI in short. When I joined, I came to know what I missed for a good part of 10 years. Because if you want to have good clients, you have to be in the company of businessmen. As a chartered accountant, I had that feeling in my mind, the businessmen will not give me the business, or they will not connect me with the clients. But I was wrong. Now, in the networking, again, it was a huge challenge. You have to identify yourself. How do you identify? That is where I read somewhere personal branding. Initially, personal branding, I thought it is required only for the celebrities, the movie stars. But for a chartered accountant, only the CA is enough. But I was proved wrong. Even for the chartered accountants, you need to build your personal branding. Then I was searching how to build my brand. Tried various things, but failed in my attempt. But it was a learning experience for me. Then somehow, I got to know there are 5 steps it takes to build a branding. The first step is your value systems. Once you build a value system, then people start identifying you with that value systems. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to join Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, I had an opportunity to build my career. Look at my career again, then start rebuilding it. That is where I started experiencing myself. So the more I started speaking, I discovered what is my value systems. So what is your value system? Value systems is your belief systems. Your family values, the way you look at the society, the way you look at your culture, the way you present yourself. These are the value systems. Then the second thing is gratitude. A person who expresses gratitude, he stands out. That's what I learned. A person who is grateful to even the smallest things in life, the person stands out. People recognize him in the group. That's what I learned, to be gratitude. Gratitude is way of attitude. And the third is purpose of doing. Whatever the work you take up, ask yourself, why are you doing this? At the end, you get an answer. I'm sure your work will be meaningful and purposeful. You will definitely spend good quality time for your work. That's what is your value systems. Purpose. And the fourth one is passion. What is a passion? Passion, when nothing is going in your life, nothing is working. If you are passionate about your work, if you are passionate about doing anything, you will be succeeding. People will look at you and they'll get motivated by you. Even though you may be a failure, but still people look out for inspiration. So bring passion in it. And your attitude. Again, what is an attitude? Whether you are a kind of a person of half full, a bottle half full or half empty kind of a person. If you are a half full kind of a person, that means you are full. You're full of energy and joy. People look at you and identify you in the crowd. Lastly, identify yourself with some adjective. I remember we used to call our general evaluator B.R. Shetty as table topic tiger. So even today B.R. Shetty, who's B.R. Shetty? Many people ask, say table topic tiger, when people remember him. So introduce yourself with an adjective. So for example, if Mr. Siddesh wants to introduce himself, you can say a litigation practice. Chartered accountant, litigation practice. As and when he brings that into his name, automatically people recognize. So, friends, personal brand is important for the growth, for the survival. If you want to be aiming for the growth, for the long term, practice these 5 things. Thank you. Over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters, this is the reason why we say it. We are supposed to give the opportunity to the seasoned Toastmasters. He has come up with a new quote: gratitude is your new attitude. Without what else is our life? Without the gratitude, how are you going to succeed in your life? That was his question. With that, let me ask you a small permission or suggestion. Since we have ample amount of time, there are 3 things that we can do. Either talk the talk. That can be something like I'm talking about anything that, say for example, about Bangalore, and I'm talking about something, say for example, rain. Like Bangalore is raining very heavily. Because of that, there is a traffic jam. And if I pass on to her, she has to take it up on from traffic, and she can pass it on to anything. Due to traffic, there are so much of death. Death leads because of the traffic, we are losing a lot of time, and because of the time, that leads us to so much of troubles, and that trouble is creating so much of problems in our life. So life will be the next option to him. This is the first option which I can think about, since we have ample amount of time. And the second can be the group discussion. So based on your opinion, based on the crowd's opinion, I'll leave it to you people. Is it the talk the talk or GD?
Supposed to be one more option, right?
Yeah.
To take break.
So yeah, like you people who want to take the break also, it's fine.
Yeah, you can take it.
Then sure.
We can start.
So we'll resume in 10 minutes. Thank you.
Good. Talk it up. Only spoke for 2 minutes.
You only completed first topic.
Start speaking about life. Pooja, right?
Monica.
Sorry. Hi. So, which company are you associated with?
I'm associated with Pfizer. What else?
PwC, yeah. Are you part of tax audit?
I'm a tax consultant.
Super. That's nice. Who do you report to, if I may?
Pallavi Singhal. Abhishek
Partner.
Goenka,
Yeah, Abhishek Goenka is no more there in PwC.
No, he's
RMG.
there till 30th of June. You know
I was part of BMR.
Oh.
Tax thing. BMR.
Like, sorry,
Income tax.
your name?
Income tax. Siddesh.
Siddesh, okay. So now you're part of Deloitte?
I quit BMR and moved on. I associated with Mr. Chaitanya.
Okay.
KK Chaitanya, income tax advocate, and then I got into practice in this.
Okay.
I've come to PwC on a couple of occasions.
Okay.
There is a guy named Amit Raj.
Yes.
One more person. I
He's
don't
become
know.
a partner now?
Is it so? That's nice.
Yeah.
Dwarak Narasimhan, I met him.
He is the CIT partner.
What is that CCIT?
CIT is the Corporate and International Taxation. So that's how.
He was partner when I had come there for him.
Okay.
There was
So
one
it's
more guy.
quite
who was
some
there
time.
Yeah, that's what. 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Please. Tea, coffee.
No,
Vipul bhai.
Yeah, I'm coming.
बैठो हाँ बैठो चल रहा है हाँ
Hello. Madam, namaste. Hello, madam, namaste. I missed your call. Hello. Madam Rajkumar. No problem, no problem. I'm in phone mat. I'm fear in phone mat. Okay. Okay, madam. Okay, all the best. Okay. Sure, madam. Sure, madam. Sure. Thank you. ಜೀವನ್ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಹಾಂ 13-14 ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಯರ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಗೋ ಏನು ಏನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಡ ನೀನು ಬರೀ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಹಾಕು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಯೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕು ಸಾಕು ಯಾವ ಫಿಗರ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಫಿಗರ್ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅರ್ಥಾಯ್ತಾ ಅದು ರೀಗ್ರೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕೋಣ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀರ ಹಾಂ ಇದೊಂದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಮ್ಮ ಹಾಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡೋಣ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಗೇನ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ ನೀನು ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯ ಈಗ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯ. ಅವಾಗ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟು ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನೀನು ಅದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟನ್ನ ನೀನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟನ್ನ ನೀನು ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಕೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ 6 months 8 months ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನೇನಿದೆ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಓದು, ಎ ಸುಟ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡು ಓದು ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಬುಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಓದು. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಓದು, ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ನೋಡು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಓದು. ನೀನು ಓದಿಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಟೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನೋಡು. ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನೋ ಅಂತ ನೋಡು. ಮತ್ತು ನೀನು ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬುಕ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓದು, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದು ಕೇಳಿ, ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನೀನು ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಓಕೆ. ಸರಿ, ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವನು ಗೌತಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸಿದ್ದೇಶ್, ನೀವು ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ? ಹೌದಾ,
ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಂತ ಬಂದೆ ನಾನು. ಬರೀ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಲಿಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸರ್, ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ರೆಕಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಬೇಕು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ
ಜನರಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಿಂದಿದೆ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಟೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್
ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಟೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಸರೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಟೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಟೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ರೆಡಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಆ ನೇಮ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೋಡಿದೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಜನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ
ಜನ ಪರಿಚಯ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ನಂದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 50 ಜನ ಇದ್ದರು ನನ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ. 47-48 ಜನ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಟು 50 ಜನ. ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ದು ಮೋಹನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ದು ಇದು ಪಕ್ಕದ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಸ್ಟೇಡಿಯಂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹಳೆ ಪ್ರಿಮೈಸಸ್. ಅದು ಆ ಥರ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ, ನೀಡೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ. ಆದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಕಮಿಟಿಗೆ
ಅದು ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ
ಹೊಸ ಜನ ಬರಬೇಕು.
ಈಗ ನೀವೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಟೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಈ ಜರ್ನಿನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಜರ್ನಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟೆಡ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಗೋ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್. ಹೇಳಿಮ್ಮ ಸರಿ, ಪುಷ್ಪ ಫೋನ್ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ. ನೀವು ಪುಷ್ಪ ಫೋನ್ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ
It will be on YouTube.
And you get to hire this meeting rooms also either.
We will not there here.
The conference room.
Yeah, this conference room or anything. Even the desk also you can hire. Like it's like co-workers. Yeah, they go.
Sure.
How did you know about this Toastmaster? Meetup, is it?
No, like Google only. Like I was looking at a Toastmaster which is available on a weekend. I was going to the Toastmaster which is there in St. Mark's Road.
Bangalore Toastmasters.
Yes, for 2 months, but then
You went there for 2 months.
yeah, but then for some other reason, like every Friday it was difficult for me to after work.
PWC, I understand.
So I thought let me figure it out some weekend, but every weekend something other used to happen. So finally I landed today.
For train.
Sorry?
In spite of rain.
Yeah, in spite of rain and traffic.
So what are we doing? Like
Table topic, then walk that talk.
Talk to talk. It's called Tall Tales.
Yeah, tall tales.
पेपर
Lokesh
पेपर टिश्यू चाहिए क्या है क्या करते हैं ना इस तरह
Fellow Toastmasters and the guests, like, thanks for resuming on time. So we have a table topic session, the second layer of a sandwich. This is your butterfly session, so to be called as butterfly. There'll be a table topic master who is going to give you the table topics. So he's going to make the butterflies fly in your stomach. So let me call upon the table topic master for the day, Vipul.
Hello everybody.
Hi.
So for the benefit of the guests, so this is the table topic session. So here you have to come to the stage for 2 minutes. You have to speak on the topic. Like I'll give the random topic and you have to speak on that. So I'm starting and I'll select anybody and they have to come on the stage. So my first topic is for you, sir. Topic is, what childish thing do you still enjoy?
Okay. So, what childish things still enjoy? So many of them. So, one of my childish things till today I enjoy is toys. Right? I have all kind of remote cards which I was having. Right now my son is playing with that, but still I will play with him. And sometimes we both will fight for playing. Say he wants all new toys. Whenever I get a new toy, first I will play with it, then he will start playing with it. And he will go and complain to his mother saying that dad is not giving me this, he is playing and Cartoon Network and not that anything like say weekends generally I take my son, my niece, everyone for swimming, so we will have a lot of fun. And childish thing, today also when I go to a picture, when there is a nice scene or a song, I will try to visit, right? So, and what is the, the another childish thing is something if I look some good girl, still I stand. So that is to be honest. So there is nothing big change being in now in little bit responsible role. I pretend to be like very nice gentleman. A lot of things are funny. Thanks again.
It was very
childish.
My second topic goes to B.R. Shetty, sir. So your topic is, how many phones have you broken or lost?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, good evening, guests. To be very frank about the phone, I have not broken any phones. The Tata telephone which I used it until last minute. Only when people started complaining that you have got such a worst phone, so I changed over to Reliance, which is not yet fully used. What happened was, I had to change the phone once because I lost one phone. Second time also I had to go to this phone just because the other phone was get drenched in the water, in rain, and I lost almost all the numbers and it was not operative. I tried my level best to bring it to life. It told nobody can give this life, but you change it. Once in orientation class, the same question came. One girl told that she's very fond of her old phone. Then I showed her my phone and she was very happy about the phone that I had kept. So somehow there is an attachment. See, when the mobile came, I was not at all interested in mobile. But he gave it free of cost.